Very good morning to all. So, once again, I welcome you all for this class. And in this class, let us have a discussion is in the topic of function overloading. And this is a very, very important topic in operator overloading concepts. It may be in C++ or Java or whatever the object-oriented programming languages. Now, let us move on to the concept that is a function overloading. And we have enough discussed about what is meant by function, what is the use of function, and here we are going to discuss about the function overloading as well as operator overloading concepts. So normally the overloading is divided into two different types: the function overloading and operator overloading. The function overloading, it means that it's a logical method of calling several functions with the different arguments and data types. So within a single class we can have a number of functions we can create. So all the functions can have a same function name, then we can call it as it's a overloading. So how we are going to differentiate that function means that is by means of sending arguments, number of arguments we are passing, or otherwise based on the data type of arguments we are passing. So that is a function overloading. It means that the several functions within a single class of with the different arguments and data types. So and then the next one is eliminating the use of different functions names of the same operations. So here you can see that. So here in this program, so there are three functions we are going to use. The one is a swap int, then swap float, and swap character. So here you can see that a class consists of three functions. The main objective is to swap the two numbers. It may be integer number, or it may be a float number, or it may be a character value. So we are passing the arguments in the first one. So that's why only they have given us the several functions they have declared with the different arguments. The data types may be differ. Either we can differentiate based on the number of arguments we are passing. So here the integer a and integer b type of two arguments we are passing, or otherwise float a, float b, or character a, character b. So likewise we can differentiate by means of numbers. And here you can see that there is a characters. So here from the main function we are declaring some variables and then enter the integer inputs. We are getting the two integer value from the user, 2 and 3. Then after that floating values 2 and 2.2, 4.4 we have get it from the user. Then the character inputs we have received a and b. Then after that what will be the thing is we are just calling that functions, that's a swap float, swap int. So likewise we have called that function. Whenever the function is called, your control will switch over to that corresponding function and it will perform the swapping of these two values already which we have received from the user. Then it will display it. Okay. So normally function gets overloaded by means of the based on the different types of data types we are using, as well as the different kinds of arguments we are passing. This is the kind of function overloading. Function means that is some set of operations we are performing, but in addition to that, the more than one functions have a same kind of operations, like exchanging of data, as we have discussed in this program. Then the next one is operator overloading. So this is a very important one. That is operator overloading. It means that as we know that we can have some set of operators. So the operator can have by default, it will perform some basic operations. So we are overloading that particular operators. We are insisted that particular operator to perform some other additional task also. That is a overloading, operator overloading. So here you can see that is a process of defining the additional task to the predefined operators. So plus operator, plus plus operator, minus minus operator, so less than, greater than, these are all the some kind of predefined arithmetic and logical operators, relational operators. So instead of having the basic operations, we are going to overload that operator to perform some other additional task. So existing operators can only be overloaded. We cannot use any other special symbol to perform the operator overloading concept. So operator overloading can be carried out by means of either member functions or friend functions. Okay, so we should know about that, what is mean by ordinary member functions and what is mean by friend function. So member function means that, so we can have a one class, within that we can create n number of member functions. That's the ordinary functions we can create. Member functions, it means that member the friend function means the friend keyword, we have to either we can use it for class as, or otherwise we can use it for a function. So ஒரு கிளாஸ் வந்து ஃப்ரெண்ட் கிளாஸாகவும் இருக்கலாம், ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் வந்து ஃப்ரெண்ட் ஃபங்க்ஷனாகவும் இருக்கலாம். ஸோ if it is a friend function, then it can access the private and protected member functions of another class. ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்ட் ஃபங்க்ஷன் என்ன பண்ணலாம், இன்னொரு கிளாஸோட ப்ரைவேட் as well as protected மெம்பர்ஸை வந்து நம்ம ஆக்சஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். தட் இஸ் அ ப்ரொவிஷன் ஃபார் ஃப்ரெண்ட் ஃபங்க்ஷன். தட் இஸ் அ டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் பிட்வீன் தட். ஆனால் நார்மலாக வந்து ஃபங்க்ஷன்ஸ் சொல்லி எடுத்துக்கிட்டோம்னா, ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் வந்து வித்தின் தட் கிளாஸ் ஒன்லி வி கேன், அதுக்குள்ளே மட்டும்தான் நம்ம வந்து ஆக்சஸ் பண்ணிக்கிட முடியும். இது வந்து எப்படின்னா, ஃப்ரெண்ட் ஃபங்க்ஷன் ஆர் ஃப்ரெண்ட் கிளாஸ் வந்து இன்னொரு கிளாஸோட ப்ரைவேட் ஆர் ப்ரொடெக்டட் வேரியபிள்ஸ் ஆர் ஃபங்க்ஷன்ஸை வந்து ஆக்சஸ் பண்ணலாம். Then now let us come back to our operator overloading concept and inside the class. So in the friend function பற்றி தனியாக ஒரு டாப்பிக்கில் நம்ம பார்ப்போம். So now let us discuss about the inside the class. If we are going to declare that operator overloading within the class, then how we are going to declare? What is the syntax for that? The first one is a return type, operator to be overloaded, then list of parameters. That's the statements. Within the braces we have to type the statements. If it is outside this class means we have to, in addition to that above parameter, we can include the class name also, because we doesn't know about the class name. What is the class name we are going to use? Then scope resolution operator. Okay, so this is the thing. So return type is the type of value returned by the specified operations. So that is the thing. So operator overloading, it means that we are going to perform some additional task to the operator. Then what is the syntax for, if we are going to use the operator overloading within the class, what will be the syntax? If we are going to declare outside the class, what is the syntax? So now the rules for operator overloading. So normally, as we have discussed earlier, it should not accept any of the new operators to get overloaded, and operator overloaded must have at least one operand value, that is user defined type. So any one operand value should be there, because if you want to perform plus operation, then definitely there should be a initialization of that variable value, operand value. Then only we can either increment or decrement operations. And users, they cannot change the operator templates. ஸோ இதுக்கு வந்து சில சாம்பிள்ஸ் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஸோ இந்த ஸ்டார் சிம்பிள், ஸ்கோப் ரெசல்யூஷன் ஆப்ரேட்டர், இந்த கண்டிஷனல் ஆப்ரேட்டர், இதெல்லாம் வந்து டெர்னரி ஆப்ரேட்டர்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ சைஸ் ஆஃப் ஆப்ரேட்டர், ஹேஷ் சிம்பிள், இது எல்லாமே வந்து இட் கேன் ஹாவ் அ ப்ரீ டிஃபைன்ட் மீனிங். ஸோ வி கேனாட் இன்கரீட் சச் அ கைண்ட் ஆஃப் ஆப்ரேட்டர்ஸ் ஃபார் ஓவர்லோடிங். ஸோ அப்போ ஆப்ரேட்டர் ஓவர்லோடிங்னா எது ஓவர்லோட் பண்ணலாம், எது ஓவர்லோட் பண்ணக்கூடாது அப்படிங்கிறத நம்ம வி ஷுட் அவேர் ஆஃப் இட். Then the next one is the assignment operator. So normally assignment operator, for what purpose we are using is, whatever the value we have assigned it at the right side of your statement, it will be assigned to the left side value, variable value. So similar to that, here in this assignment operator, from the main function, let us discuss. So here the sample S1 10, 2 arguments we are passing, 10, 15.5. So whenever the object is created, as well as we are passing some arguments, so your control will be switched over to here. We can have a the name of the class is sample, and here within the public we have declared that we have used the constructor, and we are passing the two values. One is a integer type and the next one is a floating point type of variable. So then outside of the class we are going to define the constructor. Then here we are passing that value 10 and 15.5. So those two values have been assigned to the variable x and y. So this x and y value we are going to perform the display operation purpose. That's an ordinary. Whenever the object is created, it will be automatically invoked. Then in the at the same in a, similar to that, we are creating the object for a s2 for the same class. So we are passing that arguments 20 and 25.5, so it will also display. Then next, in this statement only, in this step only, you can see that s1 is equal to s2. That's why we have created the two objects s1 and s2. We are using that assignment operators. So that is an assignment operator equal to symbol we are using. We are passing that that object value as arguments. So that's why only in this class symbol you can see that the void operator equaled. So within the bracket we have to type the what is a class name and what is the arguments we are passing. So whenever the equal to symbol is equal, assignment operator is passing, the corresponding object is going to be passed. ஸோ ஆப்ஜெக்ட் வந்து பாஸ் ஆகும்போது நம்மளுக்கு எந்த கிளாஸோட ஆப்ஜெக்ட் வந்து பாஸ் ஆகுது அப்படிங்கிறத நம்மளுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். ஸோ அதுக்காக இந்த கிளாஸ் நேமை வந்து இதில் ஆட் பண்ணுறாங்க. நல்லா தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். நம்ம இப்போ ஒரு ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு வேல்யூவை மட்டும் நம்ம பாஸ் பண்ணோம்னா ஒரு நம்பர்ஸோ ஏதோ ஒன்று மட்டும் நம்ம பாஸ் பண்ணால் போதும். அதே இது நம்ம பாஸ் பண்ணக்கூடியது வந்து ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்டாக இருந்துச்சுன்னா we have to include the class name of that particular object also. ஸோ அப்போ சாம்பிள்னு சொல்லி போட்டு அந்த ஆப்ஜெக்டோட நேம், அதாவது here whenever the equal symbol is passing, your control will switch over to here. Then that value will be assigned to the abc, then abc.x, that value have been passed to x, then abc.y, that is a 1. So that's already in this sample, that's the constructor symbol itself, we have already passed that value to the x and y. So the value is going to be added, is going to be assigned to the x and y variable. Then whenever the display function is called, these two values 20 and 25.5 is going to be displayed. Okay, so that is the main function of assignment operator. Then the next one is the binary operator. So in the next two slides we are going to discuss about how the binary operator gets overloaded and the unary operator gets overloaded. There will be some differences there. And here at first initially let us discuss about some of the important points behind that. So whenever the binary operator are overloaded, through the member functions take one explicit arguments. You have to note it down, that is a one explicit arguments we need to pass. If there are overloaded through the friend function, then two explicit arguments have to be passed. So in this presentation we have not covered the friend function and how we are going to overload that friend function concept. And here we have covered only the binary operator using the member functions. So only one explicit arguments we are going to pass. So here you can see that there are two arguments, two operands values called binary operators. The operator which can operate on the two operands, we can call it as a binary operator. That's a, for example, if I am using the plus function, plus operator, there will be a two operand value should be there, or otherwise I cannot do any other addition operations. So that's why only the term binary operator overloading have come. So whatever the operator we are using, there should be a two operand values. We can make some kind of comparison of a two operand values. Okay, right. Now let us move on to the program. So here in this program what we have done means we are using the constructor without any arguments, the constructor with a single arguments, that's a int we are using, and one more operator operator functions we are going to use. Then that is we have passed the object as an argument, as like a previous example. Okay, then once again we have defined that particular constructor v is equal to 0. We have initialized that value. Then after that we are going to pass one arguments 1, v is equal to 1. Then next we are going to type the definition for plus sample abc. Yeah, so here from the main function let us discuss. So here we have created one object for a class sample and we are passing one value, that is a 10 and 20 value we have passed it as arguments. So that value whenever the object is created and with a single arguments, it will be assigned to the variable v. So 10 and 20 has been assigned to the variable v. So then after that we have created one more object S3, and we are going to perform the addition of two values by means of the objects. So plus operator we are using. So as we know that we are going to give some additional task to the arithmetic operator plus. So plus operator, what is it going to do means, that is we have already passed the arguments as the object as arguments. So it will be assigned to the ABC. Then after that, that value, two values is going to be added. One value we have already passed it whenever the object is created. Then the another value is going to be added, and the resultant value is returned back to the original main function. Then the value will be stored on a object S3. Then S3 we are going to display. Okay, the simple logic behind that is we are going to perform the addition of, instead of adding the two operands straightly, we are going to pass the object as an argument to the operator, and then we are going to perform the addition. Yeah, so that's the important point. So here you can, that you should be aware of it, there should be only one explicit arguments have to be passed. Okay, here you can see that we are passing only one explicit arguments, either 10 and 20. This at least one explicit arguments have to be passed. So for the binary operator overloading. Okay, I hope you can clearly understand about the concept binary operator overloading. And next, shall we move on to the next topic? The comparison operator overloading. That's a less than, greater than symbol, equal to, double equal to, not equal to. These are all the some kind of operations. So here the comparison operators, it will produce either 0 or 1 binary values. So if the condition is satisfied, then it will give a value as 1. If it is not satisfied, it will give a value as 0. So in this mindset, let us go through that particular program. You can get a clear idea. And here within we are going to declare one class. The name of the class is sample, and we have a private members as well as constructor without any arguments and with one arguments. And then we are using the comparator operator. That is a less than symbol we have used as one of the arguments, one of the operator function. Then here from the main function, what we are going to, as like a similar previous program, the same kind of thing we are going to perform. That is we have passed the 10 and 20 as an argument for your constructor. The value is going to be assigned. Then after that, we are going to pass that object value as arguments. Whenever the object is passing, the corresponding value 10 and 20 is going to be assigned to that particular value. Then after that, we are performing the comparison. If the condition is satisfied, then it will return the value as 1. If it is not satisfied, return the value as 0. Okay, so that is a 1 and 0. The initially 10 20 அப்படிங்கிற ரெண்டு வேல்யூவை பாஸ் பண்ணுறோம். ஃபஸ்ட்டு வந்து நம்ம பாஸ் பண்ணும்போது அந்த வேல்யூ எங்கே போகும், இனிஷியலாக வந்து வியோட வேல்யூ என்ன டிக்ளேர் பண்ணியிருக்கோம், நம்ம கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்டரில் 0ன்னு சொல்லி டிக்ளேர் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். ஸோ அப்போ 0ங்கிற வேல்யூ வந்து 0 less than abc.vன்னு சொல்லி சொல்லுது. ஸோ abc.vங்கிறது தட் இஸ் நம்ம பாஸ் பண்ணக்கூடிய ஆர்குமெண்ட்ஸ். இப்போ 10. ஸோ 10ங்கிற வேல்யூ வந்து அப்படியே இங்கே அசைன் ஆகுது, சாம்பிளுக்கு போகுது. அந்த சாம்பிளோடு சேர்த்து கம்பேர் பண்ணுது. 0 less than இந்த வேல்யூவா, அதாவது 10 அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கம்பேர் பண்ணுது. இந்த கண்டிஷன் இஸ் ட்ரூ, ஸோ இட் வில் கிவ் அ ரிசல்ட். ஓகே, அதுக்கப்புறம் நெக்ஸ்ட் வந்து செக் பண்ணுது. நெக்ஸ்ட் செக் பண்ணும்போது அது வந்து 20ன்னு சொல்லி வருது. ஸோ the value is going to be wrong. Okay, so it will return the value of 0. So that is a major difference between that, the passing the two values and perform the mapping operations. Then the next one, unary operator overloading. So unary operator overloading, that is in the binary operator overloading, at least one explicit argument should be there. So here in the unary operator, there is no need to have a explicit arguments. The function gets overloaded by means of the no explicit arguments itself. So So for example, plus plus or minus minus, these are all the unary operator symbols. So here what we are going to do is, within the class we are going to create a constructor sample. Plus plus and minus minus, these are all the two increment or decrement functions we are using. Then in the main function what we are doing means, we are going to create one object and we are calling that display function. It will just display that value. The display functions where they have given, they have not mentioned, I think so. This presentation I have not given. So display that functions the next. So here s1 plus plus, display that function means it will display the actual original value 0 and 1. So initially we have declared as a 0. So I have forgotten to include the display function here. Just it will, whatever the value is there, it will display. So initially it will be declared as 0. Then the value has been incremented. The object value is increased plus plus. So whenever the plus plus operator is invoked, then the corresponding function, member function, that is not a plus plus operator, it's a plus plus operator functions. So plus plus operator member functions, the controls will go and it will do the increment operation within that particular function, operator functions. Then after that we are going to display that value. Then after that we have done once again, we have incremented that value to 1. That's already existing value was 1. Then the value has been increased to one more 2. Okay. Then after that we are going to display that value. Then initially whatever the value is available, that value is decremented. So 2 value வந்து நம்மளுக்கு 1 மாறுது. Again we are going to decrement that value. 1 value becomes 0. Okay. So here this is actual sample pictorial representation and the programming example for your unary operator. So here we have not passed any other arguments, explicit arguments we have not passed for your plus plus or minus minus operator. But in this binary operator you can see that we are passing one arguments. We have to pass one arguments, either 10 or 20 or something we are passing, but no, in this unary operator we have not passed any other operators, arguments, explicit arguments. I hope you can clearly understand about. So in this class we have discussed about the function overloading concept. So in the next class let us discuss about how the function overloading and overriding in Java, and then virtual function, what is meant by virtual function, virtual overriding function, how we are going to perform and everything. So I hope you can clearly understand about the function overloading, then the operator overloading concepts, assignment overloading, unary overloading, binary overloading concepts, and what will be the difference of binary overloading as well as unary overloading concepts. So I hope you can clearly understand, and you can, if you have any kind of doubts, you can type it in a comment, and you can feel free to ask. So thank you for your listening, and let us meet in the next video lectures. Thank you.